information by sending your text message to the number 0300733719 or find us on Facebook at SLBC Live Channel 31 and other social media handles. It's good morning, Leone. Stay with us.
The Enough Abuse campaign is a beacon of hope and change. This grassroots movement is mobilizing families, schools, and youth-serving organizations to prevent child sexual abuse through education, awareness, and community engagement. The organization is calling on Parliament to pass the Child Sexual Abuse Prevention Bill. For more on the issue, I have been joined in the studios by the Executive Director of Enough Abuse Campaign, Francis Sam-Kabba. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
So you guys are calling for Parliament to pass the Child Sexual Abuse Prevention Bill.
Yes.
So firstly, people want to know whether has this been tabled in Parliament?
No, this is something that we want the government to pass, the legislature to pass, because child sexual abuse is a silent epidemic in Sierra Leone, and we all know the effect of child sexual abuse. It has something, it affects education and development of child, and of course we have what we call adverse childhood experience, and of course post-traumatic stress and all the rest of that. So if we are so keen about promoting quality education, I think it's very important to focus on child sexual abuse prevention. So there has been laws laid already by the government, but here we want to make it mandatory. We want the government to make it mandatory. What does that mean? We want the government to make sure that every school or youth serving organization, institution, they first of all train their staff on child sexual abuse prevention, and of course screen prospective employees, trying to track down abusers, and again we want every school or youth serving institution to make sure that there are policies and laws that not just create boundary, but create a safe space for for children that they are dealing with. So this is all about the bill, and we want also to set up the institution in schools or any organization dealing with children to set up a reporting mechanism that has to be clear and confidential procedures, so they can report whenever someone understand that the particular child is being abused, or a child herself, him or herself, or wants to report. There must be a particular system, a particular mechanism or procedure that has to be followed, and within it has to be confidential, and it has to be safe and clear atmosphere.
So now, before you come into the studios, let me say, years back we have the Answer for Girls campaign, and we have different laws, child protection laws, that have been upgraded in this country. Now you guys are calling for government to pass the child prevention mandatory prevention and reporting of child sexual abuse. So you are calling for government to pass this type of bill. So I want you to build that context. Just try to build a picture of what you mean by preventing a child from sexually being abused, when there are other laws that do speak to that.
Okay, of course there are laws. Most of the laws that are in this country is about punishing the perpetrators. If you do this, you go for 10 years. And we all know it's not helping, because we have people that are, some we call them filibuste. And this is something that they just love to do. And other people, sometimes they are out of their mind, they are not normal. So despite the laws, the punishment that have been put in place, we still have cases of child sexual abuse happening. And most of it is happening in school, because especially child sexual abuse, is happening in school. But most of the time, children spend most of their time in school. So if we use the school as a tool, one, to educate the staff, to train children on how they themselves can prevent themselves from being abused, I think it will help a lot. So the bill for the mandatory prevention and reporting of child sexual abuse, we want it to be mandatory that every school or any youth serving institution, there must be a lay down policies that create safe space between the staff or the employee and the children themselves. And again, there must be a clear and confidential lay down reporting mechanism. So if it happens, we have to report, when to report, how to report. And again, there must be a continuous training of staff on how to prevent child sexual abuse from happening in the first place. So you can talk about, there are laws already, but when you look at this particular side, I think it's important. So the bill is about making it preventable and making it happen, making the laws that have been laid already start to work. But we need an institution, we need these schools to come together and support us. So this is all about the bill.
So in other words, this is more of a preventive mechanism, because we have the Sexual Offences Act, which is more stringent to the point of even life imprisonment that we already have. So
again, the area of putting stringent laws to the extent of life imprisonment, it's very good. But when you look at it, sometimes it hinders the reporting of child sexual abuse. Because child sexual abuse, 90% of it happens to, the child is being abused by someone very close to that particular. It could be the uncle, the mother's boyfriend, it could be the grandpa, some kind of neighbors. You understand? So if you say, okay, we are going to, anyone that is caught perpetrating child sexual abuse will go for, lifetime imprisonment or so, which is very good, but it will reduce the rate of report. Someone will say, okay, this is the child's uncle. If we report this issue, finally we will go to jail. This would hinder the reporting system.
Okay, so the compromise is what you seek to address.
Yes, so what we should focus on, prevention. And if we are to prevent child sexual abuse, children spend most of their time in school. So we have to, first of all, focus on the institution dealing with children. So they have to be trained on how to prevent child sexual abuse. There must be reporting mechanism. Of course, there must be also, they must screen prospective workers. You cannot just bring in people, you don't even know the history of it. Maybe these are perpetrators. This particular person is someone that has been convicted or has been committed this kind of atrocity to a particular guy, but then transferred to another school. The problem will still continue.
So you said the bill has not been tabled.
Yeah, this is something we want.
It's a campaign.
Yes, a campaign.
So where is the document present? At which stage is the document presently?
Well, we are, first of all, when you want to start something like this, you have to build a coalition of other people, because there are organizations that are youth child protection organization agencies all around the country. So first of all, we are calling them in this particular stage, it's the mobilization stage. We are bringing them together. We want to create a partnership with other organizations, and then we sit together and prepare the bill.
Yes, Francis, when is the document going to be taken to the draftsman?
Soon as we successfully bringing on people together, civil society group, youth serving organization, and other child protection agency, we need to come together to sit and have a particular plan. But until that,
You're still engaging, mobilizing. Okay. Many thanks, Francis Sam-Kabba, who is the director of Enough Abuse Campaign. That's it. Good morning, Sierra Leone is done for this week. Many thanks for being part of the program. Many thanks to our technical and production teams, especially producer Joseph Stanley. On behalf of all of us, I am Princess Gibson and
I am Emmanuel Samuel. Continue to watch the SLBC.
Have a splendid weekend.
As a mother of the house, whenever I want to prepare palm soup, there's no need pounding palm fruit. All I need is Nkulenu's Ghana's original palm soup base. My soup is done and it's prepared.